This week, me and my mom flipped roles. She taught me that showing up for yourself will sometimes piss people off. And I had to remind her that showing up for others doesn't mean abandoning yourself. Hold on, I'm calling my mom.
Hit the line, what's the tea? They talk about everything. Rolls on, I'm calling my mom. Paul is here, Barb too, and they talk about everything. Rolls on, I'm calling my mom.
We're back with another episode of Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom. You were joined by me, Paul, and we have another special guest of honor aside from Barb, the beautiful queen that we have every week that we look forward to seeing. We have my pimple. We have actually four
Oh my
guests
God,
this week.
stop.
We have two pimples now that are lodged on the side of my forehead. So they will be our special guests this week. Hi, everyone. Hi, Mom.
Hi. I don't have my glasses on, so I just see pure blur and gloss. You look glowing from my view.
Great. Keep hyping me up because I need it because I don't know what the hell is happening over here. Who in the universe I made mad, but something is
I
not
don't
adding up
see
over
it.
here. It's literally throbbing. I think there's a heartbeat over there. So if you see it just pulsating, let me know and we'll stop and take a minute. But yeah,
You
I
mean
don't know what I'm
those
doing to my skin. Pimple
those,
patches.
yeah, don't they? People rave about them, don't they?
Yeah, everybody's walking around like town with stars on their faces now and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that
Oh, they
I'm
come in stars?
Yeah, like if I've seen a lot of people love like
Oh.
little stars or like little shapes and stuff. I'm kind of turning on this side though, so no one can really see it.
Wait,
So
I've seen people with stars too, and I just was like, oh, are people like decorating their faces now?
no, I mean, yeah, for aesthetic purposes, it's cute, but they most likely have a pimple underneath it. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Look at
look,
that.
you learn
Learn
something new.
something new every day.
If you walk away from the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast with one enlightening moment today, we want it to be that you learned what pimple patches actually are. And they're not just for your face of aesthetics, they're for actual pimples. Well, we're never going to go with Barb's sense of what's happening in the world because she also thought that ombre was when your hair just like where complete roots grew out and like she didn't think that it was stylistic. She just thought like, oh, like you let your hair just grow out from like box dye and now you have black roots and then the blonde's here. And she was like, that's ombre. I'm like, no, sweetie, that's not it. So we're not going to maybe judge your sense of Barb's finger is not always on the pulse. Let's just say that. But you know whose finger is on the pulse and is quick to check your location in the morning when I wake up? Me, because I woke up to go pee today. And like I do always when my mom's got work, I checked that location and it was like 6 a.m. my time. And what did I do as I'm half asleep peeing?
You
Probably,
called me.
yep. I might have missed the toilet once or twice while I was trying to call you because I couldn't see anything. And I just am like this. And I'm like, do you have to, don't you have to be at work? What's going on? Why are you not
As
there?
soon as I answered it, I was like, I got canceled.
I know because I get
Yeah.
stressed about that when I see. I'm like, what happened? Did she leave her
And I
phone
was
at
going to
work?
text you, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. I don't want to wake him and think something's wrong.
No, if you
And
just
he
shot me a
hears it
text.
in his sleep or wake him in general. So I'm like, I get very torn of like what to do.
No, girl, when I'm knocked out, I'm knocked out. No one's blowing me. Like
All
you could
right.
blow
All
me
right.
up and
Good
I'm
to
still,
know.
yeah, yeah.
All right. I was going to text you and I was like, I don't want to wake him.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you for being so considerate. Wow. No, see, that's the thing though, is that it takes me a while to get to sleep, but once I actually get to sleep, no one's waking me
Okay.
up. So
All
that's
right.
the
All
beauty
right.
in that. Yeah. I'm kind of like, it's like a elephant or a horse tranquilizer. It's like whatever, whenever that sleep hits, I'm down for the count now. Oh, I saw somebody sit there and say that they think sharing locations with people is weird. And they're like, why do you have your friend's location? Like, why would you want to know? Like for people at like you're there, it's creepy. And I'm like, that is bothers me so much because I'm like, it's not creepy. It's for moments like that where I'm like, oh, I want to make sure my mom's okay or my brother's at home or my
I
friend tells
think
me that they're going to a party and they're like, hey, you have my location, right? Like, let me know, like, keep an eye on where I'm at and make sure, like, if I go out, like, you have it. To me, that's safety protocol. I don't think that's weird that your friend or your family has your location.
I think family is fine. Friends kind of sometimes, I don't know. I'm like, do we need all of our friends' location all the time?
No, not all of your friends, but like your besties that you consider family, like your best friends. Yeah, of course. Like, why wouldn't you want them to have your location?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't have any of my friends' locations. I just have you and Brett's actual
That's
location.
it.
That's it.
I have somebody's that I'm not, they shared with me, and I don't think they realize that they're sharing it with me, and they're in Marrakesh, Morocco. So that's interesting to check where they're at. So that's one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
That's
16,
too no.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24.
That's ridiculous.
Why?
That's crazy
Why?
because you don't need to have 24 people.
I agree. There's some that could go here now at this point, but then I'm like, do I really want to be the one that makes it awkward and cuts it off? Like
Oh,
that
because
makes
it
it
will
feel,
show up that they stop
it'll say
sharing
you stop sharing
their
location, and then
location.
someone takes it as like maybe it's a personal like slight. So they're
Yeah.
like, well, then I'm gonna
Yeah,
unfollow. Like
see? Now you're stuck in it. Now you're stuck.
I know.
Sometimes I'm like, I want Jordy to share his location with me because I worry about him.
Oh, then you should ask him. Send him an invite to see if he'll accept it.
I'll have discussion first before he rejects me.
You blindside him with it, and maybe just get a deny. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I am always going to push back against it because I think that is a good thing to have those things. Because, for a perfect example, when your son, my brother Brett, just called you with 4 cop cars and a SWAT team pulling up to him, you had his location to check where he was and make sure.
Are the
What?
grays in yet? Are the grays in yet? That's all
No,
I
it's
have
just
to
your,
say.
it's just your ombre. Your roots are showing. That's all. It's just your ombre.
Uh, my son, my son. So he calls me because he's going to get coffee literally right down the street from
Mm-hmm.
like 7 minutes away. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to go get coffee. He calls me because he gets pulled over for doing 51 in a 45. Right there is
Okay.
like seriously, but it was the end of the month. So,
Yeah, I don't think people know what that means. So I said that to somebody, and I don't think they know that that's a thing.
oh, maybe it's a Jersey thing.
I don't know. Is it a thing, or did you just make that up?
No, people know. Like when I was telling the story to everybody at work, they were like, everybody said, oh, it's the end of the month. Like there's a quota that
Okay.
cops are supposed to have, like, write so many tickets or something. And when it's the end of the month, that kind of you see them more out and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's a Jersey thing. I don't know.
I'm
But
Googling it.
anyway, he called me. You're Googling.
Yeah, it says,
He,
yes, it is true, but it is nuanced. Formal ticket quotas are illegal in many US states and jurisdiction. However, many police departments utilize informal performance targets to productivity standards. So quota versus goals, officers rarely have a written write 30 tickets or get fired rule. Instead, they may be expected to have a certain amount of proactive activity, which can include tickets, arrests, or traffic stops.
there you go. So he called me because he got pulled over and he has no driver's license. He has an expired insurance card on him and he can't find the registration.
A mess.
A mess.
A mess.
And because he doesn't drive his car. He drives his dad's car. So he just assumed people keep it in the glove compartment. Nothing, again, the insurance card was expired. He couldn't find the registration and he didn't have his license. Brett also
I love that you're trying to excuse that, like that makes it a difference, but okay. He doesn't matter what car it is, but
had nothing to show anything. And then he unfortunately keeps all his medication loosely. He keeps it in his console or he keeps it in his pocket. He doesn't keep it in a container. Lesson learned because the cops saw the pills sitting in the console and they started with the 50 million questions. They took the pill from him. They're passing it around. They're asking him what it's about. He has to
which
go
I
home.
didn't know that this was a thing, that you can't just have loose pills that are prescriptions even out. Like if you're driving around with like Lexapro, that's still like illegal. I didn't know those
Yeah.
things.
because they don't know what it is. So
Yeah.
he doesn't wear his medical alert bracelet, and he cannot do
Well, we
so.
do have to this is a great time to acknowledge that when this episode drops this week, Brett on May 5th, he will have it'll be 17 years since he
Years.
was diagnosed
Yep.
with cancer, which is crazy that it's been
Yes.
17 years ago. It's crazy, scary to almost say scary, but like good, but crazy how quickly life goes by that almost 2 decades ago he was
Yeah.
diagnosed with this. So there are
Yeah.
underlying things that he lives with for the rest of his life, i.e. having to have those pills.
Yes,
But
we
I
call
just
it the
think of
unanniversary. We call it an
unanniversary.
unanniversary because I think anniversaries are supposed to be like, yay.
No, but I like to acknowledge it because it is a part of our journey and Brett's story and
Of
our family's
course.
history. So to me, it's like, yeah, I hate bringing it up, but I do feel like it's an important day to be like, okay, we're acknowledging it, but we've come a long way. Brett's come a long way. I always feel
Yes.
like I say we, but it's his journey, but it also has impacted us obviously a lot. So
Of course, of course. So again, back to his medical stuff when he doesn't he's not able to handle stressful situations like that. So he was like, he was done. He
completely
was done.
overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
His cortisol was through the roof. He needed to pop the pill that the police officer was like, "Let me see to determine what this is." They're like,
But
it's
after passing it around, they gave it back to him.
how kind of them. They put their hands all over it. We're like, "Here you go, take it." Oh yeah, he did get a ticket. What was it? He got a ticket for $88 because it was 4 miles over the speed limit.
Yes, they put him doing 42. They put him doing 48 and a 45 and then
48 and a
said,
45.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's better than not getting tickets for not having your license, registration, and things like that. So he did. So he
He
did.
gave him a break. He gave him,
Yeah.
I agree. It was lots of breaks. Again, he could have kind of arrested him for having loose possession
Pills.
of things.
Well, this was all an eye-opening experience for all of us because I learned something that day. You learned something that day. Brett clearly learned that he needs to know where his shit is, where he's driving it.
Yeah.
My weekend in comparison to that was a lot less exciting and riveting. Yeah, well, because I went to go see Charlie XCX's acting debut in her new movie. I feel like such a fake fan because I think it's called Eruptia. It's like ERUPCJA. And it's like an indie film, and we went down to downtown, and that's the second time I've gone there. First time I went there, I was like, oh my gosh, this place is so cute. It's like feels very vintagey and like old and classic, and you can order food and drinks there, and it's like cute. And
while you watch the movie?
Yeah. I want to take you there actually when you're here.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I thought it was cute too the first time I went. Then the second time I went, so I go to check in with the guy that's at the check-in center or whatever, show my tickets. Doesn't even looks at my tickets, doesn't even look at me, and starts talking to other guy, and he's like, theater 5, like that, and like turned, like, and I was like, okay. I don't know why that hits for me, but it just felt like so disrespectful because he wasn't
gonna say, soon as someone disrespects you, that's it. You're out.
I am. And I
Yes.
just felt like he didn't even make eye contact with me. There was no like looking. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna blow that off. It is what it is. Maybe Jordy's like, maybe he's a movie snob, and maybe he's like, these fucking Charlie XCX fans are like, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Something about when it feels like people aren't cautious or considerate of your energy, not even just me, for humanity. Like you acknowledge everybody, like look them in the eye and talk to them like a person, like I would. So then we go to sit down in our seats, and as soon as we go to sit down in our seats, some guy comes up to us and he's like, "Oh, can I see are you sitting here? Let me see your ticket." Like someone that worked there, and I was like, "Yeah." And then my friends were walking in, and he's like, "Oh, okay, they're sitting with you." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I was like,
why
"Whatever."
does he care?
I don't know. Well, I guess he has to check tickets, but it almost felt like he helped our friends come in and then thought we were sitting in their seats, not realizing we were all sitting together. So it felt like accusatory a little bit, like you're in their seats kind of. So I was like, okay, that's strike 2. We're not going to react. Strike 3, however, was that they came in and they dropped like food off and the drinks off, and it was like previews were on, and I didn't have a straw, and I just, servers, I've been a server. You keep that little thing in the front. You got straws that you're just handing out,
little
whatever.
apron. You got your little apron. Keep everything in it.
So the girl comes by, she drops it off, and then I'm like, "Oh, excuse me." And she like beelines the other way. So then my friend's like, "Excuse me." The way she turned, I just felt that shit. I was like, "Oh, she's annoyed." Like, I don't know what it, I just felt it. A-
Stop.
Yeah, she comes closer and she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, do you have?" She's like, "I can't hear you." And like bends down and I was like, "Oh, do you just have a straw on you by chance?" And she's like, "Do you know how to order it on the app?" And I go, Hold on, yes. Yeah,
I'm
she
dead
tried it.
right now.
She tried it.
For a straw?
"Oh,
I can't.
yeah." I go, "I just was curious if you had a couple extra," and she's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to know if you know how to order." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to order through the app. I'll order the straw on the app, don't worry about it." And I started, like, sitting back in my seat, and she's
You
like,
wanna go back to go get the app to go get a straw to come back instead of just being like, "Here you go," and be
well,
done with it?
she didn't have any on her, which is fine, but it felt like she wanted to check me to be like, "Will you
Ugh,
order it through the?" And I
yeah.
go and I went, "Oh, it's okay. I'll order it through the app then, no worries." And I sat back in my seat, and she's like, "No, no, like, I'll get it for you. I just was
Uh,
asking." Yeah, I was just kinda like, "Oh, I'm not." I just was, like, asking if you got one, girl, but I'm like, "All good. If you wanna have to if I have to send a straw in for an order, like, so be it, whatever."
that's
But
crazy.
I know, it rubbed me the wrong way, I'm not gonna lie. So, I left, and I felt like, "Okay, why are these things in my life, like, bothering me so much?" It feels like recently they're adding up, and it's just, like, my bandwidth of, like, dealing with that is just, like, instead of letting that roll off, I'm like, "I'm annoyed that that happened." So, of course, I went to handy dandy ChatGPT, and before anyone drags me, I'm not abusing AI. I use it sometimes to piece together how I'm feeling, and not as a therapist, but to try to connect the dots of like what I'm feeling. I have a therapist in every degree of my life, so I could easily ask
You
them, but
do.
sometimes I just like to, try to piece the dots together myself and
I
save
understand that
save
process.
$200 a session. So, ChatGPT said, "This isn't a random thing. You're in a phase where you're building something publicly, which is what I've been trying to do. You're putting yourself out there more. You care deeply how you're perceived and you already are a little emotionally stretched. You've been pretty open about that. And if you guys have been listening here, you know damn well I have been." And it goes, "So your sensitivity to respect, acknowledgement, and energy is way higher." And I was like, Chat GPT nailed that shit. I'm not gonna lie. And I sat there and I thought it's not just those moments. I think it goes so much deeper than that. And that's why I
Yeah.
ask those questions because I go, it's not that one isolated incident. It's what is the bigger picture of making me feel that way. And
Yes,
I said,
it's the links of each thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I always want a why to something. I always want to know why
Mhm.
someone operates, someone reacts, someone has an emotional outburst, why someone gets their feelings hurt, like why, what caused that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because I feel like once you solve that, then you have come to terms with the bigger picture of like so many revelations that I've had where it's been like, oh, it's not that person said it to me. It's about like something in my past that has made me
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
oh, like, I like conflict. Like I don't deal well with conflict. And it's because of how I grew up in my family dynamic and in the world.
Yes.
I'm not a I'm not a confrontational person, but, like, I stick up for myself, right? And I always say there's, like, 2 sides of me. It's like when you're fighting, it's like I'm either gonna be, like, cut you to shreds with my mouth and say some things I don't want to, and that's the version that I work really hard to get away from, or you're gonna get the person that's gonna just start, like, crying because I'm so angry and feel misunderstood that no matter what I say, it's just not gonna come out. There's only one or the other with
Right,
me when I'm sad or upset, right? It's you get, like, this "What's up, bitch?" type of attitude, or you get like, "I'm upset and I don't know how to articulate this."
right. Because
And
I'm just the one thing.
no, I feel like you have there's moments where I'm like, "Oh, if my mom's mad," it's like it's rare that she does it, but if she does it, you're like, "Oh, you've hit a point with her where like you've really." That's why I say reading the room and reading people's body
Yeah,
language and things like that is so important because it's like,
yeah.
to me, I can tell when someone's uncomfortable or they're mad. And I feel like with you, that's always been the thing. Like if my mom gets pissed, like, oh, like you really pissed her the fuck off because she doesn't get like that.
Aw,
So like,
that's nice to know. Yeah.
but no, when you cry, that's like common. It's like, girl, like here we go. Someone has the Kleenex close by because she needs like to dab it up because she's crying and giving us the waterworks. That's like your thing. That's expected. I don't know
But
what mine's
that's my emotional, like,
threshold.
that's how I express myself. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I know, but we gotta work on
yeah.
that because that's not for everybody. That's like, we don't, like, need to have, like, "Mom, you did this and it hurt my feelings." It's like, "What?" But, like, that's like, we don't need to be brought into that sometimes, unless it's warranted. I think there's boundaries to it, right? But no, I guess I should say there's 3 sorry, my pimple started throbbing. I think there's 3 sides to I'm very like
Your
this.
pimple. Oh,
Like, yeah, yeah, my pimple, me, and no, I think I'm like this, how I'm talking now is how I would talk to somebody. I either am really angry, like reactive, where I'm like, "Oh, you did wrong to me, so now you're gonna" like, that's the side that I grew up at. I realized why I acted that way is because that was just my defense mechanism.
yeah, of
Like, if someone
course.
teased me for being gay or something, I'd be like, "Bitch, look at you, you're worried about me, bitch."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
that's where you don't want that. And then the other one is, like, if I care for somebody and I'm just upset that we're fighting or something, like, if it was Jordy, I'd be like, I'd probably sometimes be like emotional because I'm like, I don't want to fight. Like, I love like
Yeah.
that type of thing. And it's so misconstrued. And so I always say there's like 3 sides of me, I guess, maybe not 2. But
Well, I'm a Gemini.
Barb's birthday's coming up.
Yeah, so you might get a lot of Gemini this couple weeks.
Oh, that makes sense. Maybe that's why I'm feeling that way, like feeling like split personality vibes.
There you go.
Is that
There
why?
there we are.
Well, I feel like I kinda made myself sound like a deranged I'm like, like to believe I'm
What
pretty in tune with my emotions, but there are moments where that can go astray. But I felt like all this came off the tail end of something that has come up in real time that I've kinda talked to you about, where I think I'm a lot more hypersensitive about those type of interactions because, like, what ChatGPT said is that I'm, like, trying to build something on my own,
yes,
accord and trying to put myself out there in social media and just like, kind of just being more public facing, I guess, instead of being behind the scenes. And I don't feel like people realize, or even myself, I was prepared for all this because there was an incident that just happened recently where someone was like hesitant to bring me onto a project because of the stuff that I'm putting out there. That really rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, "Oh, they don't really know the core me then if they think that I'm a
right,
messy." But
right,
then I try to understand both sides. Like, if I saw the things that I'm sharing on social media, sure, they could be interpreted as messy to some degree, right? Because they're messy situations. But I feel like, oh, but they're about my experience and how it made me feel. And that's what I'm speaking on. Like, I'm never going out publicly and being like, this woman from XYZ Housewives,
right,
that her
right,
name,
right,
I would never do
right,
something like that because the story isn't about that person. It's about me being in that situation and me as a human being sensitive or emotional or trying to find my way in Hollywood. Like, that to me is like, oh, my way of trying to maneuver it. And that's like the chaos that comes with that. I said it's really funny how people will say they support you and then you start doing something that maybe makes other people feel uncomfortable because they're used to not being so like they don't know you as somebody maybe
right.
fully that has a strong opinion because you've worked for them. So you're supposed to placate to them. You're not going to have the strongest opinion when you work somewhere, in my opinion, because
Of
the
course.
strongest opinion is the person who's paying your bills,
The
not
boss,
you.
right.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, it's just quickly how things can change where it's like, we support you, but oh, now you're doing something that we don't like. I'm like, where's that support now? It's just funny how quickly that can shift. And it felt like it was a way of like, you're stepping out of your place. Like, go back into the corner, be hidden. You're doing too much now. And I'm like, I don't feel that way in my life anymore. And I feel like it's making
Welcome to
people
your 30s.
I thought about you a lot because you have always said to me, like, there was a moment in your life where you shift from like, stop kind of people pleasing a little bit and kind of stepping into your own. And that always causes friction with people because even now, I feel like in your 50s, like, people still struggle with you being Barb that is like more confident and more certain in who you are and more like, this is my stance, I'm standing on it.
Yeah,
And I feel like that happened to you, and you always say like, "Oh, for you is when you became a mom." I'm not becoming a mom or a parent probably ever, so, sorry to break your heart again
I
of not being a
know. Wow,
grandparent, but
wow.
I don't foresee that for me, but I do feel that now at 33, like, and I feel like that's kinda around the time that you felt that way, you said.
100%, 100%. 32, 33 is when I started to go back to school.
See?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I do feel like that there was something in there now that I look back as a kid, I didn't understand that, like, I guess, urgency or, like, like, you just think, "Oh, parents, they go to get jobs and they go to school," but there was something
Mhm.
internally in you that clicked that was like, "I need to establish a career, longevity, a legacy for myself, financials, like, things that I wanna
I
do
don't
on my
I
own."
c Yeah, I can't even explain it. It was just something was in me, and I, like, would have never thought to go back to school. Do you know what I mean? And I just was like, "I want more."
Yeah.
I just was like, "I want more." There was something in me that just felt different, and it was like, I need to focus more and taking care of my kids, and, like, I wanna be established in something. I want my own identity. I want something of mine.
That's how I feel too.
Mhm.
But when you did that though, you were met with people being like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Resistance. Yeah.
you're Barb, you go along with everything, you don't ruffle any feathers, you do what you're told, you play nice, and you don't ever really have a strong opinion on something," like, weren't you met with
Yeah.
friction like that?
Yeah, I was went with resistance. Yeah,
I mean, by
absolutely.
but by people who even, like I mean, people who you were even married with and I mean, your closest family like, people that should be the most supportive for you.
Yeah, I just I yeah, I just was pretty much on my own doing it. Like, I just I did it. Yeah.
Elaborate on that, please. This is where I'm gonna push you. You stop a little bit. What do you mean?
I
You're,
don't
like,
know,
saying something without saying it. I'm like, "No, what do you mean?"
no, I just feel like that I put it all in motion, and, like, Brett was not even in kindergarten yet, so I put him in the preschool. Like, I made things like I did it at night. I just did it. Yeah.
Well
I would say the one person who was very encouraging was my dad.
mhm.
My dad was very encouraging. Helped me, would come and, like, get Brett because Brett was still not, like, again, not in school. Yeah, I would say my dad was probably the most encouraging person.
I feel like not all of them, not all I'm not gonna say all of them, but people who I have worked with in some capacity are maybe the people who are kinda making me wanna step into this version of myself feel a little bit more challenging or difficult, and that's the people that maybe I thought would have been a little bit more supportive, and I think for you, it would have been your husband probably would have been more supportive, or you would have thought that, but actually you were
Yeah.
met with the most resistance by that person.
Yes.
But then I
Yeah.
think, "Okay, well, why is that?" And it's because they know you as one thing, right? And then when you
Yes,
start
I was stepping out of who I was up until the age of 30 some years old. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have an identity. I was a mom and I was a wife. I was
Mhm.
Paul's wife and I was Paulie and Brett's mom. Like, that was my identity. That's
Well,
what I did.
you still are one of them,
I know.
always.
Um, you know what I mean? Like, that was my world. I didn't have expectations of doing anything else. I
Yeah.
worked for a little bit, with you and then not with Brett. So there was those years that I wasn't working at all, which I appreciate that I had them, to be able to be at home with you guys.
Oh, me too. Our child we wouldn't be the
Yes.
same people if you didn't stay at home and do that with us, no.
No, so I do love that I had that.
Here I just always have this picture close by
I
of me
know.
on my mom's lap, that's all, for
I do
reference.
appreciate that I had that opportunity to be able to do that. But yeah, I can't even explain that inner thing of what I
This is when
felt
she
that.
knew she was ready to be a bad bitch right here. This is her graduation picture. She was 40 years old, and she put heat on these bitches' neck with this look, serving with the laid hair. She looked good. She was feeling herself. She just got a college education. She knew she was a bad bitch.
Yeah, I mean, and I just, I did what I had to, and I went to my classes, and it took years, and I did it, and
While holding it
yeah.
down at home and making sure we were a functioning family. I know that's right.
Yes,
So let me
yes.
ask you this as you're saying this. As my mom, hearing all these things and seeing things, like what have you noticed that you're like, oh, this is him entering a chapter. This is him figuring, like, what are you seeing that you can give words of advice to me as my mom, who is 57 years old and I'm 33.
Love to put that in there. In a
Well,
couple weeks, that number will be changing.
well, I was giving you
Um
57 because I could have taken it already to the next birthday because it's around the corner, but okay.
No, I definitely see you growing into your own. I definitely see you, like, having that shift of more like, "Okay, I want to look to the future. I don't want a now. I want to see this is
A
the
long game.
direction." Yeah, a long game, a more of a direction of, like, a pivot in a direction, actually.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you always had forks in the roads, but this is a total pivot.
It is.
Um, and coming out of your shell of you do have me in, parts of me in you. So we do worry about what people think. And we are worried about, we're nervous about taking that extra step out of the box, so to say. So I do see that with you and confidence. I see more. I know you have a very strong personality, but that doesn't mean people with a strong personality don't lack confidence.
Yeah, meaning they're saying that you feel like I still have, like, compassion or I care, like, I'm not ruthless of my like,
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, yes, that's what I mean. You still have me that you don't want to
No,
do
I don't like
anything
to
to
make
hurt
people mad,
anybody or make people mad or hurt people's feelings or put something out there. You're not out to hurt anybody.
Thanks for
Mm,
saying that. Only if
of
people
course.
saw that version of me that you see.
They the people who know you see that
I know,
version.
I agree. I know that there are people that see that, and that means a lot to me.
People that
So,
know you see that. Yes.
yeah, the fool me, I agree.
Yes.
Because I would give you the robe off my back right now if you needed it. Because I would have
Uh
a T-shirt under at least. No, I'm just kidding, but and I feel like we as humans go and show signs of growth and make really strong strides in our growth and do that. And sometimes we can fall short because I said, as much as I love you as my mom and you have made tremendous strides, I would be a fake bitch if I didn't hold you accountable on the podcast and talk about something you did. Like, we had a really positive episode, but we're going to go out on this. And it's not that it's not positive, but I feel like we talked a lot about me, and I wanted to bring up the conversation where, okay, let me just call it straight up what it is. So my
Wait,
dad,
I can't hear you. Huh?
oh
What?
yeah, bye. It's glitching out. It's glitching out again.
I can't hear you. I'm hanging up now.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye. She's gonna end it on that note. So just straight up, this is what it is. My dad lost his dad. He lost two parents in 6 months. My grandmom, everyone knows, is where I got her little prayer card next to me. I love
I know.
her. She passed away in September, but towards the end of
September.
September, almost October. So it's been 6 months, and then my dad lost his dad. Everybody knows where I stand with my relationship. I've been very honest with that on here. And I felt like I wanted to talk about not wanting to hurt somebody, even though this person has caused tremendous harm to me. What did I do? I thought, geez, imagine losing both your parents in 6 months
Yeah.
and you have no one to support you because you essentially pushed everybody out of your life because you have not been the best person. But I'm going to give you some love from afar and say, "Hey, so sorry about your passing, and hope you're hanging in there." That was what I said because I felt like, geez, it's the least I could do because that is rough, right? My mom, however, she called me this past week and she was in a rock and a hard place because this is where I see the new Barb show up, but then the old Barb is still in there somewhere. And she was conflicted on and asked my opinion on whether or not
Very emotionally conflicted.
you were, and I
I
appreciate
was.
that you came to me and you asked me this, but she was questioning whether she should go to the funeral of my dad's dad, not for the sake of him. My mom was like, "Oh, like, do you think I should show up for your dad in support?" That hit me in the wrong place because it's like I see tremendous strides in my mom from, like, breaking away from this life that does not serve her anymore, but then a question like that makes me feel like, girl, we just took 20 leaps forward and now we're 30 steps backwards. And I try to come from a place as an adult where I go, okay, she is a loving, compassionate person and she's loyal, clearly. But I'm like, just because you have love to give doesn't mean that you need to show up for somebody who has not fully given you love. And I know you say, well, you don't give love to receive it back. But I'm like, it just feels like, I asked you, why at the end of the day would you want to do this? What is it for? Is it for you or is it for him? And I felt like it went beyond and deeper, talk about like deep rooted stuff of why you feel the need to do that, right? So I don't know how you feel about your stance, if you felt like I gave you good feedback, if you felt like you made the right decision, but
Yeah, well, I think when I asked you, I said, try not to let your emotions get in it.
I
I
can't
think
though, because
that's
that's like, I
I
can't.
know. I know. So when I asked you, I was trying, you know what I mean? I think I tried to start off of like, think of me as just a friend coming and you don't know these people, like, you know what I mean? Like to give that kind
You
of
can't do
perspective.
that though. You
I
can't do
know,
that.
but I know that's what you were saying
Because
because
you
you
can't
know
do that
because
no,
you know the history.
because I know what this person has done. So you can't sit there and say, "Well, pretend." Well, then I'm like, that doesn't make sense. They've done things, so I'm not going to be able to ignore that. That's the whole reason why we're here and we're in
Yeah.
this mess. So it's like, no, I can't ignore that.
Yes, and some of the questions that you asked, I don't have answers for. I don't know why I feel compelled. I don't know why there's that pull to be there for him, like, totally. Like, just be very loyal, be there, support him, and do it all. Like, put myself in those positions. I don't
I
know.
understood the sense of my mom's known this person for since she was 15. That's a long time, but a lot of those times have not been good times, and I think you reflect back on, like, the early and I'm like, "I know, but that's, like, a lifetime ago now, right?" And just because you have a good chapter with somebody doesn't mean that their body of work quantifies for you to have to show up and give yourself all of them, because I'm like, when my mom's mom died, he wasn't there. When my mom was going to school, he wasn't there. When my brother was battling cancer, he wasn't there,
I know, but I
and he
know,
wasn't
and
there for me in many ways too, so I'm like, "Why are you showing up for this person when you're a good person that you're giving all that goodness
well,
to somebody who." I
that's
know,
because
but that's
and
not
not it's
that's
not like, "Oh, good me, I'm such a good."
no,
It's
I
just
know,
that is my inner that is me internally.
but girl, go take your free hours and work at a nonprofit and do it to people who are good people, like, if you wanna be Mother Teresa, then you gotta,
I
like, look
yes,
into a different
I
career path
just have
then.
very high compassion, and it has nothing about
I know,
save
but you
a
put it in the wrong people though, that's the problem.
I
You
know.
put it in people that don't, because you see, you'll justify it even here, like, "Well, I'm like, "No, you can have that, but do it to something that's, like, meaningful." Like, what you're that's not meaningful for that's me. I don't think your reasoning for that is what your true purpose is. Like, you're a nurse, you're nurturing, you're loving, you are very, empathetic and compassionate. That
We're
is who you are.
caregivers.
Yeah,
Nurses
but
are caregivers.
I
That is
know.
what we are. It's our inner. No wonder I went into that profession because that is what I've done my whole life. I'm a caregiver. Like, if you would say one thing about me, you would say, "My mom's just a caregiver of everybody." Like,
No,
that
you
is
I
just
know,
yeah,
but not everybody deserves care in the way that
and
you want to give it, in my opinion. Like, I
I
don't
know.
think someone who does that deserves
It's
your
just
care.
very hard to turn it off.
Yeah, but then that's why I asked you, I say, "Well, girl, we gotta get you with a real therapist to work through that shit."
Well,
Second,
it
I
just
said,
pulls at my emotions. It really pulled at my emotions.
but where all this stems back from and who I blame at fault is your parents and your family, because I feel like your family was like, you had to find a place to fit in there, I feel like, and, everybody plays a role, so your role was, like, maybe people come like, you just played it safe, literally, in your family, you didn't cause any issues, you were the one that, like, "Oh, Barb's the good kid, she doesn't rock the boat, she doesn't ruffle any feathers, she's, like, you want her on your side? Well, she'll be on your side. You want her on your side? She'll be on your side." Like, you wanted to always help out and take care of
Yes,
people.
and I
People
think
came to
I
you.
took on emotions of my parents. I feel like
Yeah,
I took them on emotionally.
but they
Yes.
didn't give them those same emotions to you, and
Yeah.
that's why then when you became into adult, you're like, "Well, what do I do here? Because I never did this, because I did it for everybody else." So then therefore they didn't give you that kind of love. And then you found love by finding somebody who was broken because your parents were broken people and their marriage was broken. So then you were like, well, great, I can now be good at this because this is how I won in my parents' eyes. So now I'm going to do it to the love of my life and fix him. And then he'll always need me and I'll always be there for him.
I'm hanging up now.
I'm a therapist. I'm a
I
psychologist.
know.
That-
PhD.
Yeah.
PJR PhD.
You're welcome. I'll waive the invoice for you. So it's the first session. It's free. That is
Yeah.
why. So to me, I get mad at your parents because I think like at least when I call you and I say, girl, like, why did you do this to me? Like you made me be XYZ or something. You at least can like sometimes with my mom, I mean, it's playful, but you'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I did do this, but you'll like understand where I'm coming from and why I need your parents would never do that. And that's also what
No.
pisses me off too, because you need to take accountability of like not doing that. Nobody's perfect, but at least own it. If it's a big, it impacts you greatly as a grown up woman still to this day.
I think that was really very enlightening to me because, and you said when I was saying things, because yes, my therapist that couple days was chat.
Oh yeah, you stay there. Yeah, we got to stop. Yeah,
Yeah, but when I was telling you what chat was saying, you were like, "Mom, what do you like? Yes, we know this."
I was like, no shit. Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I've been telling you. I'm like, you get love from people who need your love. That makes you feel good because you are a caregiver and a caretaker. Like that is what you are. So you like that knowing like I'm there for that person makes you feel whole and good because you've been conditioned in your own family ecosystem to feel like, well, she's here and she's going to fix it. Like I don't even call you to fix anything. I call you to just talk my shit.
yeah.
So I'm like, you're lucky you got kids like me and Brett where we don't take advantage of that. But I'm like, yeah, I realized that I was like, oh, my mom has just never worked through this. And it's hard for her to let go of somebody that she feels like she has some personal like life, like we're in this together and it's like, that's not it though, unfortunately, honey.
I worked through my
You
crisis.
did. You
I
did.
did, and I was proud of myself.
I was proud of you
And
too.
because my instinct was go fix it, be in there, plan it, like get yourself
Yeah,
involved in
no.
it and go and take care of everything. And so he didn't have to. And
Yeah, no. I'm like, you have done tremendous work on yourself to move and live the life that you've created. That is such a step back. You can say, hey, I'm sorry for it. You know, if you need an ear, sure, maybe I can give it to you. But other than that, you're on your own, you know, because you don't at the end of the day owe that person that type of compassion. You can love from afar and give support and tools, but you don't need to be the support system solely on for them. That to me doesn't make sense.
And that's what I did. I just text and was like, how are you doing? Because again, I felt bad, like you said, to lose two parents
Sure,
in
of course.
6 months. So I just was texting and just checking in, making sure you're okay. Like, you're okay, everything good, everything work out, kind of thing.
See how these roles can always I can take a little bit from you at 33 of this shift in your life where you stepped into your own. You can take something from me as your 33-year-old son to saying, no, mom, you're not going to go and let somebody take advantage of because I'm a ride or die for my mom. So I'm always going to have her best interest at heart. And I feel like I would make the right decision for you. Like I wouldn't make something selfishly just because I didn't like it. Even if I didn't like the person, and I felt like it was still warranted, I would say go and do it. But to me, I'm always going to be like,
yeah. And I asked your opinion and I asked to talk through it. You didn't say, no, you're not going. Well, you kind of a little said that, but
no, yeah, I was going to say, I kind of did tell it, but I then met you with like explanations of why.
Yes. And maybe my inner was looking for someone to say that to me.
Yeah, that's why I think we call each other is because we want each other to validate us. When I'm like, am I making the right decision? You're like, well, I think, and I'm like, okay, so my mom sees it that way. That's why I get a little upset when you don't see it that way. But then like, I know you call me and you want me to see it your way, but then sometimes you don't. And then that's where you're like, okay, he's right, even though I want him to say it that way, right? So it's like, we're very similar in that way. So
we really are.
Thank you everybody for letting us just hash that out. We haven't talked about that really since then, so we
We
need
have
to do
it.
that. We
Yes.
needed to do that. Well, I actually feel cleansed after this. I'm like,
I do
"Okay, I
too.
feel a little bit better now. Thank you for that.
I
I
do
love
too.
you."
I love you too.
And I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and if you wanna chime into the combo, because I feel like this is a good time to chime in, you can check Barb. Do you have an opinion on that? Do you understand where Barb's coming from? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you see what I'm trying like, sometimes I like to hear other people's stories, so please email us at hold on, I'm calling my mom podcast at gmail.com. Hop into the conversation. Make sure you hop on over to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple to listen to the Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast over there. Subscribe to us on all of them and make sure you're clocking in every Monday at 10 a.m. PST. Clock in. Barb did the little clock it with the right fingers. And make sure if you haven't already, you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom. I love you guys so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in, showing up for us, listening to us, and caring what we have to say. Barb, you know what to do.
This time I'm really
She's-
hanging up now.
She's doing it for real now. Call you later.
Call you later. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.